Assalamu alaikum student. Today I am going to solve IGCSE Mathematics paper 4 February March 2026. Before starting this paper, I request you please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon button. Let's start the question of this paper 4. Question number 1. Write the number 7.25 million in figure. Look here, this is the number 7.25 in million. We will multiply this value by 1 million. 1 million means thousand. And when we multiply 7.2 into thousand, we will get the value 72540. And this is the answer. Next question, question number 2. ABC is a right angle triangle. ADB, DCE are straight line. Find the value of x and y. Look here, this is the angle x. We have to calculate this angle. This angle x lie in this straight line ADB. And in this straight line, here are two angles, 74 and x. And when we add these two angles, 74 and x, we get 180 because this is the property sum of adjacent angle on straight line. This is the abbreviation we use for this property. And x will be equal to 180 minus 74, and this will be equal to 106. Next, we have to calculate angle y degree. Look here, this angle y degree is the exterior angle of the triangle ADC. This is the exterior angle of triangle ACD. So we write in triangle ACD, angle y degree is the exterior angle. This angle will be equal to sum of opposite interior angle. Other opposite interior angle here are 74 and 90 degree. This is the property of triangle. We write exterior angle equal to sum of opposite interior angle. Therefore, this value will be equal to 164, and the y degree angle will be 164. We write here x is 106, y is 164. Next question 3, calculate 10 minus 7 over 8 whole cube into 2. Give your answer correct to one decimal place. Firstly, we write 10 as it is, and we will calculate 7 over 8 whole cube value. We can calculate this value by using calculator. Look here, 7 over 8 whole cube, this will be equal to 0.699 into 2. We will multiply this value by 2. We get 1.398. We write 1.3398. After multiplying, we get 10 minus 1.33. We will subtract 10 minus the answer. This is equal to 8.66. Therefore, 8.660. This is the answer. The next question, question number 4. Question 4, the exchange rate between pounds and dollar. 1 pound equal to $1.28. The exchange rate between pound and rupees, 1 pound equal to 115 rupees. Computer cost $576. Calculate the cost of computer in rupees. Look here, we have to convert dollar in rupees. Firstly, we will convert dollar into pound because for exchange rate here is $1.28. That will be equal to 1 pound. And we will convert $576 into pound. And for this, we will calculate $1 value in pounds. This will be equal to 1 over 1.28. And next, $576, we will multiply this value by 576 on the left side and the right side. Therefore, we can write this 1.28 multiply 576. 576 divided by 1.28, this will be equal to 450. 450 pound computer cost. Here 1 pound is equal to 115 rupees, and therefore 450 pounds, we will multiply 1 by 450 on left side, and this value also multiply by 450. Therefore 450 pound will be converted into rupees, and this value equal to 51,750 rupees. This is the answer. Next question number 5. Nisha flies from Bombay to New York. The journey takes 16 hours 18 minutes. The flight departs from Bombay at 11:50. The local time in Bombay is 10.5 ahead of New York, of local time in New York. Find the local time in New York when the Nisha flight arrives. We have to calculate arrival time. Here the departure time is 11:50 and traveling time here 16 hours 18 minutes. And we have to calculate arrival time. How can we calculate arrival time? If we add departure time and traveling time, we get arrival time. But we have to this arrival time of New York. Look here, New York time is 10.5 hours ahead. Therefore, when we take the New York time, when the time on Bombay is 11:50, the New York time will be 11:50 minus 10:30. This will be the New York time when the flight departure, because the New York time is 10.5 hours ahead. Therefore, we subtract this value. This we get 120. Therefore, in New York, the time will be 120. This is the New York departure time. And after this, we will add the traveling time. Then we get 17:38. And this time is the arrival time in New York. And this is the answer. Part B, the plane fly a distance 12,800 kilometers. Find the average speed of the plane in kilometer per hour. Look here, the average speed formula, that's equal to total distance divided by total time. Distance here is 12,800 divided by time. Time here is 16 hours 18 minutes. We write this time 16 hours plus 18 minutes. We will convert this time into hour. When we convert hour into minute, we will multiply this value by 60. When we convert minute into hour, we will divide by 60. Therefore, 18 divided by 60, we can write this 3 over 10, 16, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 10 is 16. This value converted to hour, and we can write this 16.3 hour. Therefore, we write 16.3. This will be equal to 12,800 divided by 16.3. We get the value 785.2. Therefore, 785.2 kilometer per hour is the speed. And in 3SF value 785, this is the answer.
Question 6, a bag contains yellow counter, blue counter, and red counter. Asif takes red takes a counter at random from the bag, the probability that he takes a yellow counter is 27%, and the probability he takes blue counter is 3/5. Find the probability he takes a red counter. Look here, here are the three options. First is yellow, pick the yellow counter, and blue counter, and third is the red counter. Therefore, the probability of yellow plus probability of red plus probability of blue, this will be equal to 1. Here the probability of yellow is 27%. That's mean 27/100. And the probability of blue counter is 3/5. And yellow counter, P of R we write, sorry, red counter probability we write as it is, equal to 1. And this value we can write this, P of R equal to 1 minus 27/100 minus 3/5, and this will be equal to 100, and this is 100 minus 27 minus, to make the denominator same, we will multiply this value by 20, and this is 60. Therefore, this is 100 minus 87 is 13/100, and the probability of red counter would be 13/100. Next, question number 7, p square equal to r square minus 8t. Find the value of p when r equal to minus 15, t equal to 7. We can calculate this value of p by substituting the value of r and t in this equation. The value of r here is minus 15. Therefore, this equation becomes p square equal to minus 15 whole square minus 8 into t is 7, and this value will be equal to 225 minus 56 would be equal to 169. And the next part B, this is the p square value, and therefore p will be equal to 169 square root, and plus minus we write, and therefore this value would be plus minus 13, and this is the answer. Next value, rearrange p square equal to r square minus 8t to make the subject t. To make the subject t, we will shift all values from right side to left side. This value, this equation become minus p square minus r square equal to minus 8t, and we will divide this equation by minus 8. Therefore, this equation become p square minus r square over minus t, and this value become 1t. And therefore, t would be equal to minus 1/8 p square plus minus minus plus 1/8 r square. And this is the value of t. Next question, question number 8. Question 8, a prism has 6 planes of symmetry. The cross section of prism is regular polygon. Write the name of regular polygon. You should remember the polygon having 6 planes of symmetry, regular polygon having 6 lines of symmetry. This polygon would be the hexagon, regular hexagon. And this regular hexagon would be the cross section of this prism. Therefore, we write hexagon is the answer. Question 9, a tank in the shape of a sphere has radius 40 centimeters. Show that the capacity of tank is 268 liter. Correct to nearest liter. Look here, we have to prove the capacity of tank is 268 liter. The capacity means volume, and therefore the volume of tank is 268 liter. Here the shape of the tank is spherical, therefore this will be equal to volume of tank will be equal to volume of sphere. And the volume of sphere formula is 4/3 pi r cube. And we will write the value here for our 3. The value of pi is 3.142 and the radius here is 40 cube. This value will be equal to 4 into 3.142 into 40 cube divided by 3. This will be equal to 268,117 cubic centimeter. Here the answer in liter. When we convert cubic centimeter into liter, we will divide this value by 1000 because 1000 cubic centimeter equal to 1 liter. Therefore, we will divide this value by 1000 liter. We write here, and this value is 268.117 liter, equal to 268 when we take value correct to nearest liter, and this is the capacity of tank, hence it is proof. Next, part B. Part B, the tank contains 268 liter of water. The water from tank is empty into a cylindrical container at a rate of 300 milliliter per second. Calculate the time for the tank to completely empty. Give your answer in minutes and seconds. And we have to calculate time. The flow rate formula, that will be equal to volume divided by time. And time will be equal to volume divided by flow rate. And volume here is 268 liter. And this is 300 milliliter. And to convert milliliter, this value we will multiply by 1000 because 1000 milliliter equal to liter. When we convert bigger to smaller unit, we will multiply. Therefore, we multiply by 1000. And this is 300. And this value become milliliter and this become milliliter per second. This value 2680 divided by 3 second. And this value will be equal to 893.33. 893.3. Well, this value in second we will convert into minutes. We will divide by 60. Divided by 60. This is 14.88. Therefore, 14.88 minute. And this 14 minute plus 0.88 minute. And we will convert this decimal minute value into second. You know, when we convert minute into second, we will multiply by this value by 60. This value convert into second. Therefore, we will multiply 0.88 multiply 60. This value become in second. And 0.88 multiply by 60, we get the 52.8. We write 53 approximately. Therefore, 53 second. And this is 14 minute. And we write the answer 14 minutes 53 second is the answer. Next question. Part second, the cylindrical container has radius 50 centimeter and height is 40 centimeter. The calculate percentage of container that is filled with water. Look here, the total water in tank is 268 liter. And the cylindrical container total water we will calculate firstly. Volume of cylindrical container, that's equal to volume of cylinder is equal to pi r square h. Here the value of pi is 3.142. Radius here is 50 into 50 and height is 40. Therefore, this value will be equal to 3.142 multiply by 50 into 50 into 40, and this will be equal to 3,14,200. This value, look here, this is in centimeter, this is in cubic centimeter. Total water, we have 268 liter, and therefore we will convert this value into liter. And when we convert cubic centimeter into liter, this is smaller unit, this is bigger unit, we will divide this value by 1000, and this value will be equal to 3,14,200 divided by 1000, and the cylindrical container volume becomes 314.2 liter, and we have to calculate percentage of container that is filled with water. Look here, the total water we have 268. Therefore, 268 liter water filled out of total water, total volume. The volume of cylinder, this is 314. Therefore, the percentage will be equal to 268 liter of water filled out of 314.2 liter, multiply by 100. This value would be equal to 268 multiply 100 divided by this value. This is 85.29, and this is 85.3%. This is the answer. Question 10. The diagram shows a rhombus. Angle BCD is 117. Write two simultaneous equations and solve to find the value of x and y. Look here, this is BCD. This angle is 117. And this is the rhombus. In the rhombus, diagonally opposite angle always equal. Therefore, we write this angle minus 6x plus 9y equal to 117. Opposite angle ABC, this angle will be equal to 180 minus 117, because the angle ABC plus angle DCD, these are two co-interior angles, will be equal to 180. This angle is 117, and this ABC will be equal to 180 minus 117. This is equal to 63 degree. The second equation we can write diagonally opposite angle or in rhombus always equal. Therefore, second equation 2x plus 3y equal to 63. And to solve these two equations simultaneously, we will make the coefficient of any variable same. Look here, the coefficient of x is minus 6 in first equation, second is 2. If we multiply by 3, second equation, we get equation 6x plus 9y equal to 189. And when we add these two equations, equation 1 and 2, we get 7 plus 9, 16, 2 and 8, 10, and this is 306, and this is 18y, and therefore y will be equal to 306 divided by 18, and 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 50, 1 is 306, 3 times 17 is 51. Therefore, y equal to 17, and x will be equal to 2x plus 3y equal to 63, and y value here is 17. Therefore, we write 3 into 17 equal to 63, and this value 2x will be equal to 63 minus 51, and this is 2x equal to 12, x equal to 6, and therefore the value of x and y is 6 and 17. This is the answer. Question 11. The diagram shows speed time graph for 65 seconds of a journey. Acceleration for 48 seconds is 0.25. Show that v equal to 32 meter per second. Look here, the acceleration is 0.25 meter per second square. You know the formula of acceleration is v minus u over t. And this v here is the final velocity. This is v. U is the initial velocity 20 in the interval 48 seconds equal to 0.25. V minus 20 will be equal to 0.25 multiplied by 48, and this is equal to v equal to 12 plus 20. This will be equal to 32 meter per second, hence it is true. Part B, work out the total distance traveled during 65 seconds. Give your answer in kilometer. Look here, this is the speed time graph. In the speed time graph, the distance traveled during 65 seconds will be equal to area under this graph. Area under this graph, there are two intervals, one for 0 to 48 seconds. The area of this region, look here, this is the trapezium. Firstly, we calculate the area of trapezium, then we will calculate area of triangle. Area of trapezium 1 over 2 a plus b into h plus area of triangle is 1 over 2 base into height. Here the a is 20, b is second parallel height, this is v, and this v is 32 meter per second. Look here, this value is 32, and the height, it is the distance between two parallel lines. This is 48 plus 1 over 2. This length is base, 65 minus 48. This is 17, and height is 32. And this will be equal to 24 multiply 52 plus 17 into 16. Here 24 multiply 52 plus 17 into 16. This will be equal to 1520. 1520. Look here. This speed is in meter per second. Therefore, this area would be in meter, and we will convert into kilometer when we divide this value by 1000. We get value in kilometer. You should remember, when we convert the value from smaller to bigger unit, we will divide 1000, because 1000 meter equal to 1 kilometer. And this will be equal to 1.52 kilometer is the answer. Question 12, solve the equation 4x minus 3 over 5 equal to 7 minus 2x over 3. To solve this equation, we will cross multiply. In this cross multiplication, we will multiply the numerator by the right side denominator, and the right side numerator is multiplied by the left side denominator. After doing this, we will expand this equation. 3 times 4 is 12x, 3 times 3 is 9, 5 times 7 is 35, 5 times 2x is 10x, and 12x plus 10x will be equal to 35 plus 9. That will be equal to 44, and this is 22x, and x will be equal to 2, and this is the answer. Now we move the next question. Question 13, the marked region R is defined by three inequalities. Look here, this is the region R. Here are three lines. Firstly, we will calculate the equation of line, and then we will mention the region. Look here, this first line, this line is parallel to y-axis, and this line passes through the x-axis at point 3. Therefore, the equation of line will be x equal to 3. But the region on the right side of this line, therefore, this region will be x is greater than 3. And this is solid line, therefore, we write x is greater than equal to 3. And the next equation, we will calculate this equation of line. Look here, this is the solid line, second line. And this solid line, equation of this line will be equal to y equal to mx plus c. Here the gradient, look here, gradient, we will mark any 2 points on this graph. These are 2 points. We take the ratio between vertical to horizontal distance. This is vertical distance is 1 unit, horizontal distance is 2 unit. Therefore, this is gradient is 1/2. But this line is, when we move left to right, the line is falling. Therefore, the gradient will be negative. And we can write this equation y equal to minus 1/2x plus c. C is the y-intercept value. This is the y-intercept. This is 2. And we have to mention the region. This region lie upside of the line. Therefore, this equation will be y greater than minus 1/2x plus 2. And this is solid line. We write y is greater than equal to minus 1/2x plus 2. In the next line here is the dotted line. We will calculate this equation using this the equation of line y equal to mx plus c. Firstly, we calculate the gradient. For the gradient, we mark any 2 points. Look here, these are 2 points. We take the ratio, vertical over horizontal. Therefore, this equation will be 2/2. This is the gradient into x, and c is the y-intercept. This is minus 1. And this equation will be y equal to x minus 1. But we have to mention the region. This region lie downward of this line. Therefore, we take the inequality y less than, in the downward, we take y less than x minus 1. This is dotted line. Therefore, we write inequality only y less than x minus 1. And here, the third inequality, y less than x minus 1. And this is the solution. Question 14, two bottles are mathematically similar. Larger bottle has capacity 1.35 liter and height 24 centimeter. Smaller bottle has capacity 0.4 liter. Calculate height of smaller bottle. Look here, and we have to calculate height of smaller bottle. We will use the similarity volume ratio formula. V1, V2 equal to H1 over H2 whole cube. And here the volume, this V1 is the volume of smaller. We write Vs and large VL. Therefore, smaller volume here is 0.4. Larger bottle volume here is 1.35. And this H1 is smaller bottle. We name H. And H2 is the height of large bottle. This is 24 centimeter cube. And we can write this H cube equal to 0.4 over 1.35 multiply 24 cube. And this equal to H will be equal to cube root of 0.4 over 1.35 multiply 24 power 3. Look here, the cube root of 0.4 over 1.34 into 24 cube. This will be equal to 16. And therefore, the height of smaller bottle will be 16. And this is 16 centimeter is the answer. Question 15 part A, f of x equal to 10 minus 2x. Part first, the domain of f of x is -2, 0, and 3. Range of f of x. Find the range of f of x. You should remember the value of x is the domain and range is value of f of x. Value of f of x is range. Look here, domain of f of x here are -2, 0, and 3. These are the x value. We will take the range against these x value. Here f of -2, f of 0, and f of 3. These value are the value of range. Firstly, we calculate -2. We can write f of x equal to 10 minus 2x. F of -2 will be 10 minus 2 into -2. This is 10 plus 4 equal to 14. For f of 0, we write 10 minus 2 into 0. This is 10. And next is 10 minus 2 into 3. And this will be equal to 10 minus 6. And this is 4. Here are the values. The range of f of x will be 4, 10, 14. And this is the answer. Next part second. Find f inverse of x. Look here, this is f of x equal to 10 minus 2x. We will suppose that let f of x equal to y, then x will be equal to f inverse of y. To calculate f inverse, we will make the subject x in this equation. Look here, f of x equal to y, therefore we can write this equation y equal to 10 minus 2x, and to make the subject x, we will shift all values from right to left. This become y minus 10 equal to minus 2x, and x will be equal to, we will divide left hand side by -2, we get y minus 10 over -2. X equal to y minus 10 over -2. And x here is equal to f inverse of y. We write f inverse of y equal to y minus 10 over -2. We have to calculate f inverse of x. Therefore, we will replace this y by x. We can write f inverse of x will be equal to x minus 10 over -2. And this will be equal to minus x plus 10 over 2. We will divide the numerator by negative value. We get minus x plus 10. And this is over 2. Therefore, minus x plus 10 over 2 is the answer. Next, find the f of x in the form of ax square plus bx plus c. Look here, the f of x value here is 10 minus 2x. We can write in the place of f of x 10 minus 2x. Therefore, g of 10 minus 2x will be equal to, the g of x value is equal to 2x square plus 3. And g10 minus 2x will be equal to 2 into, in the place of x, we write 10 minus 2x. Whole power 2 plus 3, we write as it is. This is 10 minus 2x. We will expand this according to identity a minus b whole square. This will be equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. And this is 10 square is 100 minus 2 into 10 into b is 2x plus 2x whole square. And this will be equal to 100 minus 40x plus 4x square. And we write this 100 minus 40x plus 4x square plus 3, and this will be equal to 200 minus 80x plus 8x square plus 3, and this is 8x square minus 80x plus 203. And this value in the form of x square plus bx plus c. And this is the answer. Part B, h of x equal to 10 power 2 over x. Find h inverse of 10,000. Let h inverse 10,000 equal to x, then h of x equal to 10,000. When we shift h inverse from left to right, this becomes 10,000 equal to h of x, and therefore 10,000 will be equal to 10 over 2 power 2 over x, 10 power 2 over x. And we can write this value 10 power 4. This is 10 power 2 over x. We will equalize the power when the base on both sides are same. Therefore, we can write this 4 equal to 2 over x and 4x equal to 2, x equal to 2 over 4, and this is 1 over 2, and this is the answer. Question 16, the temperature T degrees centigrade of liquid is given by the formula T equal to A B power x. X is the number of minutes after 2 p.m. T equal to 80 at 2 p.m. Look here, when T equal to 80, and X will be the time after 2 p.m. When time is 2 p.m., therefore X will be equal to 0 second, 0 minute, sorry. And therefore we will substitute the value in this equation, T equal to A B power x. T is 80, we write A as it is, B as it is, and this X is 0 minute, B power 0. B power 0 is 1, therefore A equal to 80. And we will substitute this value in the equation, T equal to 80B power x. In the second case, T is 20. The time at 2:30 p.m. X is the number of minutes after 2 p.m. Therefore, from 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., total minutes is 30 minutes. Therefore, X will be equal to 30 minutes. And we can write 20 over 80, B power 30. And this is 1 over 4. B power 30 equal to 1 over 4. B equal to cube root of 30, 1 over 4. Look here, 30th root of 1 over 4 will be equal to 0.9548. We write 0.954. B here is 0.954. A is 80. This is the answer. Question 17. A curve has equation y equal to x square minus 5 over 2x square plus 3. Find the gradient of the curve x equal to 1.5. This is the equation, and to calculate the gradient of the curve, we will take the derivative of this equation dy over dx, and this dy by dx x equal to 1.5. This will be equal to m. Therefore, we calculate the derivative y equal to x cube minus 5 over 2x square plus 3. We take derivative of this equation. We get dy over dx, and the differentiation of x cube, this is 3x square minus 5 over 2 we write as it is, and this is x square, we write 2x. So derivative of 3 is 0. We can write this 3x square minus 2 will be cancelled. We get 3x square minus 5x, and here the value of dy over dx at x equal to 1.5. Therefore, we write x equal to 1.5. This value will be 3 into 1.5 square minus 5 into 1.5. And this will be equal to 3 into 2.25 minus 7.5. And this is 6.75 minus 7.5. This will be equal to negative 0.75. And this is minus 0.75 is the gradient of the curve at x equal to 1.5. Therefore, we write m equal to minus 0.75, and this is the answer.
Question 18, table shows the information about the time that each of 90 train has delayed. Calculate an estimate of the mean. To calculate the mean, we will use the formula here, the sum of values divided by total number of values. Sum of values for group data, we use this formula, sum of f into x, our sum of frequency. X is class mark, f is the frequency. Class mark is the middle value of the class interval. Firstly, we will calculate the middle value of these class interval. For this, we will add the upper and lower limits divided by 2. Look here, 0 plus 10 over 2 is 5. 10 plus 30 is 40. 40 over 2 is 20. The middle of 30 to 45, this will be equal to 37.5. And next is 45 to 75. We will add this value, 45 plus 75 divided by 2, and we get middle value. This equal to 120 divided by 2, this is 60. The middle of 45 to 75 is 60. In the next, we will take the product of f and x, and we will multiply f into x. Therefore, 30 into 5 is 65. 35 times 20 is 700. 37.5 multiply 36. This will be equal to 1350. And the next product of 6 into 60, this will be equal to 360. We will add all these values. 1350 plus 360 plus 700 plus 65. This is 2475. Therefore, sum of f of x will be 2475 divided by total frequency. This is 90. And we will divide this value by 90. We get 27.5. 27.5 minutes is the mean, and this is the answer. Part B histogram is drawn to show the information in the table. The height of the bar for interval 10 to 30 is 14 centimeter. Calculate the height of the bar for other interval. To calculate the height of the bar for other interval, firstly, we will calculate the frequency density of each interval. Look here, this is the table, and frequency density formula, it is the ratio between frequency and class width. And here the frequency is given here. Class width is the difference between upper and lower boundary of the class interval. Look here, the difference of first interval is 10, second is 20, third is 15, and fourth is 30. These are the class width. We will divide the frequency by class width, and this value become 13 over 10, 1.3, 35 over 20, 1.75, and 6 over 30, 0.2. And we will calculate height for each frequency density. Here the height for this interval 10 to 30 is 14 centimeter. In that, for the interval 14 centimeter. Look here, the frequency density of this interval is 1.75. Therefore, for 1.75, the height is 14 centimeter. And for one frequency density, this value is 14 over 1.75, and this will be equal to 8 centimeter. For one frequency density, the height is 1/8 centimeter. Therefore, for when the frequency density is 1.3, we will multiply this 1.3 by 8, and next value 1.75 is multiplied by 8, 2.4 multiplied by 8, 0.2 multiplied by 8. And look here, this 1.3 multiplied by 8, this will be equal to 10.4. And the next 2.4 multiplied by 8, this will be equal to 19.2. And multiplied by 0.2, this is 1.6. Therefore, the first height would be 10.4, second is 19.2, and third is 45 to 75. This is 1.6. This is the part C2 of the train with delays of more than 30 minutes are chosen at random. Find the probability that just one of these trains is delayed for 45 minutes or less. Look here, we have to select more than 30-minute delay number of trains. Here are 36 plus 6 is 42. And we have to calculate the probability that just one train is late for delay for 45 minutes or less. Look here, the total number of train delay for 45 minutes or less are 36. There one of the train delay for 45 minutes or less is 36 out of 42. The other train delay more than 45 minutes. There are 6 trains out of 41 because one of the train is already selected. Plus probability. In this case, firstly, we take turn of the train delay for more than 45 minutes. And here are for 6 train out of 42. And the next train, we have to select the number of train delay for 45 minutes or less. Here are 36 trains out of total train 42, but one of the train is selected, therefore we write 41. And we can calculate this value 36 times 6 divided by 42 divided by 41 multiply by 2, and this will be equal to 0.250. This is the probability of this. Now we move to the next question. Question 19, OABCDE is a regular hexagon, O equal to P, AB equal to Q. Find vector DE in terms of P and Q. Look here, this is the vector DE we have to calculate. This DE vector is parallel to BA, and the both length of the vector equal because this is regular hexagon. In regular hexagon, all lengths will be same. Therefore, we can write this vector DE equal to BA. And here the value of AB vector is Q. Therefore, we will convert BA into AB. We write it as minus AB. And this minus AB here is Q. This is minus Q. This is the answer of vector DE. Next, part second of part A, find the vector DE in terms of P and Q. This is the vector BE, and we have to calculate this vector. Look here. This is the symmetrical line of this regular hexagon. We draw another symmetrical line of hexagon DA. Both symmetrical lines bisect each other. And this point we name it as G. And therefore, the length of OA equal to length of EG. And look here, the EG and OA is parallel. Therefore, EG will be equal to P. And the vector GB length will also be same to EG because this symmetrical line DA bisect this EB. GB is parallel to OA. Therefore, and the length also equal to OA. Therefore, we write this GB equal to P. And this length EB will be equal to plus P. This is equal to 2P. And we have to calculate the vector BE. This vector BE will be equal to minus EB and minus EB equal to minus 2P. Next, we have to calculate vector OE. And look here, the OE vector, we can write this OA plus AB plus BE. Here OA is P, AB is Q, BE is minus 2P, and therefore this value become Q minus P. Next part B. Part B, OB and DC are extended to meet at G. Find the position vector of G in terms of P and Q. Look here, we have to extend the vector DC and the vector OB. Both vectors meet at this point G. And if we join O to C, we get two triangles. These two triangles are similar because this angle is 60 because exterior angle of regular hexagon is 60. And this angle, total angle or interior angle of regular hexagon is 120. And this is the symmetrical line. Therefore, it divides the angle BCO equally. And therefore, this angle will be 60. And next, look here. This angle is 120. Both angle will be equal because this is isosceles triangle. Length of OA and AB equal in regular hexagon. Therefore, the angle on BO will be same. Therefore, this angle would be 30. And this total angle is 120. Remaining angle will be 90. And this angle CBG lie on the line OBG. Therefore, this angle will also 90. And two angles are equal. Therefore, these two triangles will be similar. And therefore, OBC is similar to triangle BGC. And therefore, BG our OB equal to BC our BC. And therefore, BG will be equal to OB. OB equal to OA plus AB. This is equal to P plus Q. We write here vector OG will be equal to OB plus BG, and OB is P plus Q. BG is also P plus Q. Therefore, the vector OG will be equal to 2P plus 2Q.
Question 20. The diagram shows point A, B, C, D are on horizontal ground. Calculate the area of triangle ABC. We will calculate the area of triangle ABC using this formula, and you can see this formula in formula sheet. According to this formula, area of triangle equal to 1 over 2 AB sine A. These are two sides A and B, and this is the angle between these two adjacent sides. In this triangle ABC, look here, this is the triangle ABC. And here the two adjacent sides here are 600 and 450. Angle between them is 57. According to this, we will write this 1 over 2, 600 into 450 multiply by sine 57. And this will be equal to 300 multiply 450 into sine 47. This is 1,13,220 and three significant figure value. This is the third significant digit, and the neighboring digit is less than 5. Therefore, we will write 11300 will be the answer. Because against these 220, we will write 00 as a placeholder. Next question, part B. Part B show that the angle CAD equal to 85.8 degree. Look here, this is the angle CAD. This angle lie in the triangle CAD. In this triangle CAD, here are two sides and one angle known and other angle is unknown. When two sides and two angle relationship, we use the sine rule. This is the sine rule, and this formula is given in the formula sheet. Now we use this formula. According to this, 290 opposite of this side angle is 34. We write sine 34. And the next, this side is 450. Opposite of this side angle is D. We write sine CDA. Angle sine CDA will be equal to 450 multiplied by sine 34 over 290. And we will calculate this value. Sine CDA will be equal to 450 into sine 34 divided by 290. This is 0.867. and angle CDA will be equal to sine inverse 0.867, and this will be equal to 60.19. But we have to calculate the angle CAD. But this angle is CDA and this is 60.19. And look here, when two angles in a triangle given, we can calculate the third angle by subtracting these two angles from 180. Therefore, this angle CAD will be equal to 180 minus 34 minus 60.19, and this value will be equal to 85.8, and this is the value we have to prove. The angle CAD is 85.8, and this is the solution. Part C, there is a vertical mast at point B and vertical mast at point D. The height of mast at B for 250, the height of mast at D for 45. Calculate angle of depression of the top of the mast at point D from the top of the mast at point B. Look here, we have to calculate the angle of depression. Look here, this is the mast, first mast of 250 meter. And this position is the top of the mast B. We name it as T1. And this second mast at point D is 45 meter. This top is, we name it as T2. And we have to calculate the angle of depression. This angle of depression will be the angle between this horizontal line and this line from the top of point B to the point D, top of point D. Look here, this is the angle, and this angle is the angle of depression. To calculate this angle of depression, look here, this is the angle of depression D, and this angle is also D because these are two parallel lines. These are the alternate angle. Therefore, we can take this triangle T1, T2, and we name it as E. And this triangle T1E to T2. This is the right angle triangle. And this length, look here, is T2E is equal to dB. This length is equal to dB. We name it as X. Therefore, this length is also X. And look at T1E, this length is, total length is T1B is 250. And the remaining, this length is 45. When we subtract 45 from 250, we will get this length. The length will be equal to 205. Therefore, we write this length is 205. And this is the length. We suppose that X. And the angle D we can calculate if we calculate the length X, and we can calculate this length X. This is the length X, dB is the length X. We can calculate this length by using cosine rule because here two sides 600 and 290 given here, and this angle is already, we have proved this is 85.8. And this total angle will be equal to 140.8. Here two sides and the angle between them is given here. We can calculate this length, opposite length of this angle. And we use the cosine rule. According to cosine rule, the two opposite length dB square is equal to X square will be equal to sum of square of two adjacent side. First side is 600 square, second is 290 square minus 2 times of 600 into 290 into cos of angle between these two adjacent sides. This is 142.8. This dB will be equal to square root of 600 plus 290 square minus 1200 into 290 into cos 142.8. And this dB is X, and we can calculate this value. 290 square plus 600 square minus 1200 multiply 290 multiply cos 142.8, and this will be equal to 849.2 meter. This length is 849.2 meter, and the T1E length is 205, and we can calculate this angle D by using trigonometric ratio. This is the opposite side of this angle. This is the adjacent side of the angle, and we take this ratio opposite our adjacent. According to formula is tan D degree will be equal to 205 over 849.2, and D degree will be equal to tan inverse 205 over 849.2, and this value will be 13.57 degree, and 3SF value will be 13.6 degree is the answer. Next question number 21. The length of cuboid is 2 centimeter. Correct to nearest integer. Width of the cuboid is 4 centimeter. Correct to nearest integer. Volume of cuboid is 123.8. Correct to 1 decimal place. Find the lower bound of the height of cuboid. Look here, the volume of cuboid is equal to length multiplied by width multiplied by height. And we have to calculate height. And this height will be equal to volume divided by length into width. This height is the lower bound value. Therefore, this height lower bound value will be equal to volume lower bound divided by length into width upper bound. This is the formula for limit of accuracy when we take the lower bound value in the division case. According to this, we can write volume lower bound will be equal to length upper bound into width upper bound. Firstly, we will calculate this volume lower bound. Look here, this is 123.8 centimeter cube, and this is the accuracy correct to 1 decimal place. Therefore, the error will be the half of the accuracy. This error will be 1 decimal place value 0.1 over 2, this is 0.5. And we will add or subtract in the volume for lower and upper bound value. When we calculate volume lower bound, we will subtract this error. Therefore, 128.8 minus 0.5, this will be equal to 128.75. Length of the cuboid here is 2 centimeter. The accuracy here is correct to nearest integer. Therefore, the error will be half of the accuracy. And this half value, 1 over 2, this is the error. To calculate this length of upper bound, we will add the error in this value. This is 2 centimeter plus 0.5. This is 0.5, we get 2.5. And the width here is 4 centimeter correct to nearest integer. This is the accuracy. The error of this width will also be half of this integer. It become 1 over 2. This is the 1 over 2 is the error, and for upper bound value equal to 4 plus 1 over 2 is 0.5. 4 plus 0.5 is 4.5. And we can calculate this value by substituting this value in this formula. Look here, we write 128.75 over 2.5 into 4.5. And this will be equal to 128.75 divided by 2.5 divided by 4.5. And this will be equal to 11.4 centimeter will be the lower bound height of this cuboid. Question 22. These are the first 5 terms of the sequence. Find an expression of the nth term of the sequence. Look here, this sequence, we get the next value by multiplying 6. Look here, 1 over 6 multiplied by 6, we get 1. And the next value, if we multiply 1 by 6, we get 6, and then 6 multiplied by 6, 36. Look here, this is the geometric sequence. The nth term of geometric sequence is equal to AR power n minus 1. A is the first value and R is the common ratio. This R we can get by dividing two consecutive value. We take the second value divided by first value. This will be equal to 6. Therefore, this is the R is the common ratio is 6, and we write n minus 1 as it is. 1 over 6 means 6 power negative 1, and this is 6 power n minus 1. When we multiply, power will be added. This become n minus 1 minus 1. This is 6 power n minus 2. This is the answer. Next question, question number 23. Question 23, two angles A and B are formed when two lines meet at a point A. At a point, angle A is given by this equation. Find two possible values of angle B. Look here, these are two lines meet at a point. This is the angle A, and this angle it is considered as B. Look, we can calculate this angle A by using this equation. 2 plus 3 tan A equal to minus 0.5, and we can write this 3 tan A equal to minus 0.5 minus 2, and this is minus 2.5, and tan A will be equal to minus 2.5 over 3, and for acute angle value, this tan A, we write tan alpha equal to 2.5 over 3, and alpha will be equal to tan inverse 2.5 over 3, and this will be equal to tan inverse 2.5 divided by 3. This is 39.8, and this angle is 39.8. Here the tan A is negative value, therefore angle A will be negative. The tan negative lie in the second and fourth quadrant. According to this formula ASTC, here in the first all positive, in this sign positive, this is tan positive, and fourth is cos positive. All other negative. Therefore, here is tan is negative, and in the fourth tan is negative. We take two options. Second quadrant, the angle in second quadrant, this is the acute angle and this is the angle X. X equal to 180 minus alpha. Here 180 minus 39.8, this is 140.2 degree. This is the angle A here. And next we take the second option. The angle A is negative in the fourth quadrant, and this will be the angle negative angle in fourth quadrant, and this angle will be equal to A degree angle will be equal to, this is alpha, 360 minus alpha, we write 360 minus 13.8, and we can write this 320.2. We have two values of angle A, and when angle A is 140.2, in this case, this is the angle 140.2. This angle B will be equal to A plus B equal to 180. Therefore, this angle B will be equal to 180 minus A, 180 minus 140.2. And this will be equal to 39.8 degree angle B. And the next option, if we take angle 320.2 angle A, the angle B equal to 180 minus angle A, when for angle A is 320.2, the B will be equal to 180 minus 320.2, and this will be equal to minus 140.2. Here are two values of angle B. One is the 39.8 degree. Other option is 140.2. This is the solution.